This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're very pleased to be joined today by Yarden Gross, co-founder of Orca AI, to discuss his company's offering to the global maritime industry. Yarden, to start us off, while I'm sure many know the Orca AI name, can you give us a short overview of who you are, what you provide, and a by-the-numbers look at Orca AI using the metrics of your choice?
Yeah, of course. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here, Greg, and thank you for the time and thank you for inviting me. We started a company back in 2018, me and my co-founder, and we actually, both of us are two Navy veterans, Israeli Navy veterans. And also after that, we've been working in the tech industry. But this industry is, for decades already, is operating in a very conservative way. And there is an inherent reason behind it. And the reason is that ships, which are very expensive assets, they are operated in remote locations without any connectivity. And all the decision-making is happening on board the vessel without any visibility to the shore side. And the technology is completely outdated on board. So what we see is that now, while ships are becoming more connected, and this is what we saw, a few years ago, that ships and the entire industry will become much more connected to the cloud. It will open an opportunity for shipping companies to start deploying technology on board and solve a lot of critical problems in the operation, making the operation more efficient, reducing the workload, increasing the safety, reducing the fuel costs, emissions, etc. And Orca wants to be the enabler for ships to go from point A to point B in the most efficient way, the safest way, empowering the crew, automating parts of the voyage, and enabling visibility to the shore side, and basically optimizing, the most critical section of this supply chain. So today, what we're doing, we're providing a fleet operation platform to provide safety capabilities and enhancing the crew with automation to take, first of all, better decision to reduce their workload. And basically on the vessel, we are automating as a first step the watch keeping position. And then throughout the voyage, we're also collecting the data and providing visibility to fleet managers and the operational team on how the entire fleet is operating, to be able to see issues in the operation, safety events, and to get actionable insights on how to improve that.
When you started at this company 5 years ago, you and your partner, what was your plan for growth in terms of revenue, installations, headcount? And today in 2023, how does that reality differ from the plan?
Wow, it's a good question. As an entrepreneur, you're always super optimistic. So I would say that it was much more challenging than expected, because it's a conservative industry, because it's ships that are sailing for weeks, without reaching land. So you need to do everything remotely, because, you're building a cutting edge technology and the most sophisticated technology, and you need to collect a lot of data in order to train the models and to get to a certain performance and level that is required for the crew to operate. So with all of that, I would say that it was challenging to build Orca, but today we're in a place where we already created all the playbooks, and today we're in a place where we see that we are growing and customers are continuously adopting the product and the services, and customers that started, using Orca on just a handful of number of vessels within their fleet are going to full fleet rollouts and to multi-year contracts. And if we started, 3 years ago with very small fleets and selling to small fleets, today we're working with the biggest shipping companies in the world. And some of them went to a full deployment across their fleet. And we are a part of, the most innovative projects to develop the future of shipping in terms of autonomous ships and autonomous fleets. So I think we are today in a position where, it was a lot of hard work with an amazing team members that knows how to execute, that knows how to solve problems. But today, I think that we see that, we're in a trajectory of a growth and success that is better than expected.
What exactly is the business model for Orca AI? Specifically, how do you generate revenue, and how is Orca AI funded to ensure that you're going to be here for the long haul?
Yeah. So first of all, there is something that is inherently different that happened in the last couple of years versus what you saw in the last 30 years in the shipping industry. So many industries, and I'm coming from the tech industry, right? So I'm coming, I would say my background and passion is marine, but I've been working and I have experience of over a decade in the tech industry, and I saw many industries that are moving forward, adopting new type of technology. My previous startup was in the automotive industry, and I saw how once you have connectivity to the cloud, it really changes how the industry starts to operate. It really changes the business model. And you can see companies, for example, let's say in the automotive industry, companies like Tesla, that they really change how the business model is working in the automotive industry. So instead of selling a car, you're already starting to sell a service, and you can buy a full suite of the service. So autonomous capabilities and other capabilities that are making your life easier, or you can buy something which is very limited and involves a lot of operations. So I think what is happening now in the shipping industry is that as we see ships become more connected, and now with companies like Starlink that all of a sudden providing, so it's basically like having 5G in places around all around the oceans. You start to collect data from the ship to the cloud, and you start downloading software from the cloud to the ship that basically changes the operation. And this is where we are today, and it's a process that will evolve in the next 5 years. And what we're going to see is we're going to see more and more applications that solving critical problems, right? So it can be problems around maintenance of engine and creating predictive maintenance solutions. And it can be problems around the navigation side. And in the navigation, you have, crewing, which is a major problem. You have, fuel cost, which is a major problem. You have emissions, which is a major problem, and you have still regulations around it. And lastly, you have safety, which is a major problem. So once you have big problems that the industry didn't solve yet, and now all of a sudden you have the capabilities with the connectivity as an infrastructure to be able to deploy new type of application to start minimize or solve these problems, you're going to start seeing sustainable business model happening around that. And one of the most sustainable business model around it that all of a sudden is starting to be unlocked in the shipping industry is SaaS, software as a service, something that already you see in other industries. You couldn't do that with ships before because, again, they were not connected. And now once a ship is connected, a ship owner can say, okay, I want to build, or I want to buy fuel optimization software. I want to buy, automation for the navigation. And each one, he will buy it based on a subscription model. There is no upfront involvement of cost that you need to have. Everything is based on subscription, so you have a reduction of cost, and it creates a much more sustainable and much more competitive environment between companies. So I think what we see today is that the more forward-looking type of companies are really exploring that, are already deploying that type of models within their fleet, and we expect that once it's going to take even a stronger push forward. We expect that other companies will understand that either they're going to be out of the game, or if they want to be still competitive, company, they will need to be a part of the game, and they will need to start deploying more type of applications on board their fleet.
How is Orca AI differentiated from other tools to aid decision making from bridge to the shore side from where you sit?
Yeah, that's a good question, because we see that there is more competition that is happening and evolving in the market, and we see different players tackling certain problems from different directions. And I think that what makes Orca unique is that we are integrated deeply into the operation of the ship. So what we see today, and we see it across the board, from every ship that we are installed, it's starting from their side. And we see a different approach, by the way, with other companies. Many companies are going from the fleet side of the operation. So this is the approach. They are starting from the fleet side, and they're forgetting that you have the human behavior in the loop. So we said, okay, the approach is actually starting from the ship. The ship is the sole decision maker. We need to provide capabilities for the ship, for the crew, to empower them, with the best tools, with the best insights, to reduce their workload, and then automating parts of their voyage. Throughout the voyage, we're also collecting the data and then providing the visibility, the monitoring tools to the fleet managers, but still the decision making in real time is happening on the ship. We see many solutions that, they can have a great product of voyage optimization based on weather routing. What you see many times is that the crew on board the vessel is not optimized or not taking decisions based on this type of product or this type of service that is actually integrated on the office side, right? There is a disconnect between the office and the ship. And this is what Orca is actually bridging. There is a platform that is assisting the crew on board. They love it, they use it all the time. But it also provides visibility and monitoring tools to the fleet managers, so they can get actionable insights, not on the vessel level, but on the entire fleet level. And they can actually see where they need to improve and how they need to improve the operation of the entire fleet. So it's a ship to fleet platform that is assisting first and foremost the crew on board, and then also the fleet level. And I think this type of approach, with great technology that took us a lot of time to build and to collect the data in order to train the models and get to the certain performance that is adequate, and to the certain performance that that is expected from very experienced crew members. I think this is what makes us unique, and this is what makes us successful in the industry.
You said, I believe in your first answer, we were just talking about the general conservative nature of the maritime business, slow to adapt to new technologies. And I do think that's true. And as I said before, I think that's for relatively good reason. There are obviously technology leaders in this space. And when I mean technology leaders, I mean big ship owners that are willing to accept and trial innovation. But when you get beyond that small sample size, that 1% or so, what is the picture that you see in regards to general interest and acceptance of the tools that Orca AI offers?
So, yeah, it's a good question, because there is an educational phase, right? So we see customers today, just 3 years ago, today they are much more receptive for technology in general, for understanding that technology can solve, problems in the operation, for SaaS type of a business model. So we see companies that are being more receptive. In the beginning, we went to the early adopters, the one who are more forward-looking. But I can share that today we are working and serving different type of fleets. So Orca is installed on. We started in the oil and gas segment. They were installed on car carriers, bulk carriers, container ships, ferries. We are serving different type of fleet sizes. So Orca is installed with customers where they have, a fleet of 8 vessels. which they are super conservative in the operation, were installed on fleets with 50 vessels. And when I say install, I mean full deployment across the fleet. And of course, we're also serving, tier one companies, shipping liners, and we have a few very big customers. And with them, you can see that they are more forward-looking and understand that, they will need to adopt new technology, and they have so many operational problems that technology can actually solve. So I think we're just scratching now the potential. And I think that in the next 5 years, we're going to see much more adoption, not just of Orca, but other type of solutions as well. So I think it's the most exciting time to be in the shipping industry. I think in history, actually.
Earlier this summer, I noted that you announced results of a trial that you had with Shell Shipping and Maritime, which I'm sure is a very nice reference to have. Can you give us a recap of that project, specifically what Shell Shipping found, how it helped you to improve your product and service, and is it ongoing, or where are we at today with it?
Yeah, so Shell is a partner already for a long time, and we are installed on. So Shell, that they don't own vessels, but they're managing vessels. Specifically on the LNG side, we're installed on a couple of the vessels, and we see them as a pillar in the industry and as a forward-looking in the industry to how technology should evolve, what type of problems it should solve, and specifically if you're looking at operational efficiency and safety around the navigation, the oil and gas majors, and specifically Shell, that are really forward-looking. So for us, it was very important not just to look at them as a customer, but just to look at them as a partner, and to understand from their perspective, how they see the operation today, what are the challenges, and what are the type of solutions that the shipping industry will need in the near-term future and also in the long-term future. So a part of what we're building with them is what we are building in partnering also with them is understanding, the upcoming challenges or the challenges that they have today, and how we can solve them today. And this is what we did, but also looking forward towards semi-autonomous fleets, full autonomous fleets, and see what type of capabilities we need to build, and what type of monitoring tools, around navigation audits, the MSA audits, around the real-time operation of autonomous ships. So I would say it's a more ongoing project with Shell, that constantly we are taking their advice, asking for their point of view, and based on those type of customers, we are modifying our roadmap for development, understanding, where the industry is going, getting the insights. And I think this is crucial when you're building or when you're integrating a new type of technology in a conservative market. You want to work with the best of the best, and I would say Shell is one of those.
Even more recently, I understand that Orca AI announced a partnership with Japan's Marubeni Corporation for sales of its AI-powered situational awareness platform. Can you talk about that deal and how you see it as being instrumental for the growth of your company?
Yeah, so when you're building a sales organization, there are limited things that you can do directly, right? So today, up until today, we've been selling to customers all around the globe directly. But then there is a certain time that you say, okay, I need to start focusing and doubling down on either certain segments or certain territories. And this is what I need to know and what I can actually execute today and do it directly with the customer. When you see other regions, and specifically Southeast Asia and Japan, you want to work with partners and you don't want to do everything by yourself. So what we saw with Marubeni, and I think this is not just about Marubeni as a company, but it's also about specific people in the organization that understood the value of Orca, that understood the vision that we're bringing to the shipping industry. And I think after we've been working together, first as a customer, Mobility was first a customer, and they saw the value. And then they said, okay, we want to be a part of it. And we understood very quickly that Mobility could be a great partner for us just because of that, because of the people that are building the organization. The people that understanding the future, the people understanding the vision, and this is what created a very unique collaboration between us. I would say that so far it's working even better than expected, and looking forward to continue working with Mobility.
Can you discuss how Orca AI is investing today to ensure it's tomorrow?
So I would say that, eventually we're a tech company. So internally, I would say that for us, the most important asset is first of the people. So we are hiring the best type of people that are the most skilled in terms of what they know and their experience. But it's not just that, it's also the right DNA. When you're building a tech company, and especially in this type of environment of industry that is so conservative, you're a pioneer. And when you're a pioneer, there is a lot of ups and downs. There is a lot of not knowing how the future is going to look like, and you're paving the way. So you need this type of people. You need people that are, they know how to be a leader, they know how to push forward, they know how to execute, they're not scared of the challenge, and they understand that it's a roller coaster ride, but they believe in the vision, they believe in the people here. And this is very important to build this type of organization and maintain this organization as you go. So, it's always, one of my mentors always said that, A type of people are bringing A type of people, but B type of people are bringing C type of people. So you want to keep with an A. And this is very important. Well, once you go into the B, it goes very quickly to the C. This is how we are, maintaining our people, and this is the most important part of our business.